comicbookshows.com on Patreon.
I'm here with writer Chris Claremont, most famous for having saved the X-Men in a 17-year run on the title, and author of a lot of creator-owned works and fantasy novels. Mr. Claremont, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
My pleasure. Fire away.
I read in college that you wanted to be an actor. When did you decide that you wanted to be a writer instead?
Actually, I graduated with a degree in acting, and I started out in New York to be a professional actor, both on stage and in television. But to pay the bills, I started working. One of the things I did was writing. And I never really considered writing as a profession, any more than you consider breathing to keep yourself alive. It's just something you do. Writing was something I did. And so I got a job at Marvel, part-time, and I thought, this is cool, I'll stay here for 6 months, earn enough money to pay my rent, and then go off and do summer stock. But then they made me full-time, and then I got the X-Men, and about 5 or 6 years later, I looked up and realized I wasn't acting anymore, I was writing full-time, and I've been doing it ever since. Now, 40 plus years. On the other hand, with Days of Future Past, I just restarted my acting career, so what goes around comes around, I guess. It just takes a while.
How did you get the idea to give a new start to the X-Men?
Actually, I didn't. Len Wein and Dave Cockrum did, working with Roy Thomas and Stan Lee. They did the first issue, which is Giant Size X-Men #1, and then Len had to leave the book, and he said, wanted to know who was wanted to write it. I didn't even give him a chance to ask a question. I just kicked down his door, jumped on him, and said, I'm doing it. Because I'd helped him with a couple of little moments along the way in Giant Size, and I wanted to work with Dave Cockrum really badly.
You're known for writing good girl characters.
Yes.
How is that different from writing good boy characters?
Not different at all. It's just no one had ever done it yet when I started.
Is there a difference in how you work on writing a comic versus writing a novel?
Well, writing a comic involves shorthand, basically. My job is to tell the story, the actions of the story, to the penciler, so he can create exciting visual pictures. In a novel, my job is to tell the entire story, to create the visuals, the pictures in your mind with words. So a novel requires me to be eloquent. Comics require me to be clear and precise. So it doesn't read at all like good writing or good fiction writing when I'm writing a plot, but that's because the artist's job is to tell the story. My job is to tell him the story so he can do it. Like writing a screenplay.
What comic books did you read when you were a kid?
English comic books mostly. Dan Dare, Sky Pilot of the Spaceways, things like that. I didn't really get hooked on American comics until I was a senior in high school and I started reading the Fantastic Four by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
I like Stan Lee too.
Me too. He gave me my first job.
What comics do you read now?
None, I'm afraid.
Why not?
We are going to have you.
Not enough hours in the day. And
Yeah, I have to set everything up.
yeah, basically that. I'm too busy writing my own material, which nowadays is all prose, not comics.
One last question. Are you having fun at Comic-Con?
Always. Are you?
Yes. Thank you for answering my question. It was nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. The pleasure is mine.